8 seconds. That's all it took. 8 seconds for a $500 drone to erase a $5.2 million Russian tank from existence. No air support. No artillery. Just a small quadcopter, a shaped charge, and a soldier you've never seen on the news. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly how this is possible, and why it changes everything we thought we knew about modern war. Stay until the end, because the detail no one is talking about could decide the future of global conflict. The footage is grainy, shot from a first-person view. The drone lifts off from a muddy trench somewhere in eastern Ukraine. The operator's hands are steady on the controller. He's young, mid-20s, maybe younger. No fancy uniform, no medals. Just a hoodie, a screen, and a mission. The drone climbs, banks left, schemes low over a tree line. In the distance, a column of armored vehicles moves slowly along a dirt road. The operator zooms in. Third vehicle. AT-90M main battle tank. Price tag, $5.2 million. Crew, 3 men. Weight, 48 tons of steel, reactive armor, and firepower designed to dominate a battlefield. The drone accelerates. The tank's active protection system, designed to intercept incoming missiles, doesn't react. It's calibrated for rockets, not for something this small, this cheap, this fast. The operator lines up the shot. He's aiming for the turret ring, the seam where the turret meets the hull. It's a weak point, known to every drone pilot on the front line. The drone dives. Contact. A flash. The screen goes white, then black. 8 seconds from takeoff to impact. When the smoke clears, the tank is burning. The turret is blown off, lying 10 meters away. The crew, if they survived the initial blast, has seconds to escape before the ammunition cooks off. Most don't make it. This is not science fiction. This is not a video game. This is the daily reality of the war in Ukraine, and it's rewriting the rules of combat faster than any military academy can keep up. But here's the question that should keep every defense minister awake at night. If a $500 drone can destroy a $5.2 million tank, what does that mean for the future of armored warfare? And more importantly, who else is watching? Let's break down the asymmetry. The tank, designed over decades, built in a state factory, crewed by soldiers trained for months, supported by a logistics chain stretching hundreds of kilometers. Fuel, ammunition, spare parts, maintenance crews. It's a moving fortress, a symbol of military might. The drone, assembled in a basement workshop from commercial parts ordered online. DJI frame, modified firmware, a 3D printed mount for the warhead. Total cost, around $500. Training time for the operator, 2 weeks, sometimes less. No fuel depot, no supply convoy. Just a battery, a charge, and a target. The math is brutal. For the price of one tank, you can field over 10,000 drones. Even if 90% are shot down or miss, the remaining 10% will still overwhelm any defense. This is asymmetric warfare at its most extreme, and it's not just theoretical. It's happening right now, every single day, across hundreds of kilometers of front line. So who are these drone operators? Forget the image of elite special forces. Many are civilians who volunteered after the invasion. Gamers, hobbyists, engineers, people who grew up flying racing drones for fun. They're given a crash course, literally, in target identification, flight dynamics, and explosive payloads. Then they're sent to the front. Some operate from trenches, crouched in mud with a controller and a laptop. Others work from basements in towns miles behind the line, connected by encrypted radio links. They don't see the faces of the tank crews. They see thermal signatures, grid coordinates, and a countdown timer. It's intimate and distant at the same time. And it's devastatingly effective. The chain of destruction is faster than you think. Intelligence, often from commercial satellites or even social media, identifies a target. Coordinates are passed to a drone unit. A pilot is assigned. The drone is prepped, the charge is armed, and within minutes it's airborne. Multiple drones can be launched simultaneously, swarming a single high-value target or spreading across a convoy. If one is jammed or shot down, another takes its place. The entire system is decentralized, redundant, and cheap to replace. Lose a drone? Build another one tonight. Lose a tank? That's a strategic loss that takes months to replace, if you can replace it at all. Now let's talk about the Russian response. They're not sitting idle. Electronic warfare units deploy jammers to disrupt drone signals. Nets are strung over vehicles. Anti-drone guns, essentially directed energy weapons or shotgun-style interceptors, are issued to infantry. Some units even use trained eagles to take down small drones. Yes, eagles. But here's the problem. Jamming works until the drone switches to autonomous mode and completes its mission on pre-programmed coordinates. Nets add weight and restrict turret movement. Anti-drone guns require line of sight and quick reflexes. And eagles, well, they're not exactly scalable. The cost of defending against a $500 threat is climbing into the tens of thousands per vehicle, and it's still not enough. Every tank destroyed is more than metal and money. It's a psychological blow. Crews know that at any moment, a drone they can't see or hear could be seconds away. That knowledge changes behavior. Tanks stay farther back. They move less. They're used more cautiously, which means they're less effective. Meanwhile, every successful drone strike is filmed, uploaded, and shared. It becomes propaganda, recruitment material, and a training video all at once. The Ukrainians have turned drone warfare into a feedback loop. Success breeds more volunteers, more funding, more innovation. But Ukraine is not the only one watching. China is studying every frame of footage. Iran is already exporting suicide drones to proxies in the Middle East. Turkey's Bayraktar drones became household names, but the next generation is smaller, cheaper, and smarter. The United States is pouring billions into counter-drone systems, but the Pentagon knows the truth. In a peer conflict, American armored columns would face the same threat. And they're not ready. The future is already here, and it's accelerating. Artificial intelligence is being integrated into drone swarms. Instead of one operator controlling one drone, a single person can manage dozens, each with semi-autonomous targeting. They communicate with each other, adjust tactics in real time, and overwhelm defenses through sheer numbers. Add facial recognition, thermal tracking, and loitering munitions, drones that circle above a battlefield for hours, waiting for the perfect moment to strike, and you have a weapon system that's nearly impossible to counter with current technology. Some military analysts are calling this the end of the tank era. Others say tanks will adapt. Active protection systems will improve, armor will get smarter, and doctrine will change. But adaptation takes time, and time is something you don't have when a $500 drone is diving toward your turret at 100 kilometers per hour. Here's the detail almost no one is talking about: the proliferation risk. Right now, these drones are being used in a conventional war between nation-states. But the technology is commercially available. The knowledge is spreading. What happens when non-state actors, insurgents, terrorists, criminal cartels, get their hands on this capability? What happens when a drone swarm targets not a tank, but a stadium, a power plant, or a convoy of civilian vehicles? The barriers to entry are collapsing. The genie is out of the bottle. And yet, there's a strange kind of logic to it. For decades, military power was concentrated in the hands of wealthy nations with advanced industries. Now, a small country, a militia, even a well-funded group of volunteers can field a weapon system that can challenge a superpower's armor. It's democratization of violence, and that cuts both ways. So where does this end? Honestly, no one knows. Some experts predict an arms race in autonomous counter-drone systems, lasers, microwave weapons, AI-driven interceptors. Others foresee a return to dispersed low-signature tactics, where armies avoid concentrating high-value targets. A few even suggest that the age of large-scale mechanized warfare is over, replaced by distributed networks of cheap, expendable systems. What's certain is this: the battlefield of 2030 will look nothing like the battlefield of 2020. And the lessons being learned in Ukraine right now will shape conflicts for the next generation. 8 seconds. 1 drone. 1 tank. A $500 investment that erased $5.2 million and 3 lives. It's a stark equation, and it's being solved in real time on the fields of Eastern Europe. The question isn't whether this changes war. It already has. The question is whether the rest of the world is ready to adapt. What do you think? Can traditional armies adapt fast enough, or is the era of the tank truly over? Do you believe drone swarms will dominate future battlefields, or will new defenses level the playing field again? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Every perspective helps build a fuller picture. If this analysis opened your eyes to something new, subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss the next breakdown. In the next recommended video, we're going deep into autonomous drone swarms and AI-driven warfare. How they work, who's building them, and what happens when human decision-making is taken out of the loop entirely. Because sometimes, the smallest details are the ones that change everything.